fuck, what's this? Mooney's got to be like Truman Capote, cup of tea. Yes, it got to be like Truman cup of tea and pick up some nuts in our nut sack. This is Mooney. We see a little squirrel up in here. Mooney sees a squirrel over here, and there aren't any nut trees. There's these boy-girl trees up inside old Greg's vagina. Mangina. Noel Fielding's Noel. Fielding's Noel. But we don't see any nut trees. So Mooney goes down to the rivers to get some water to clean up with and to wash or to water these little boy-girl trees that we put these little stick forts around so the campers won't run over them. And so we take our nut sack with us. See, we got this nut sack. We got a nut sack. And we picks up the squirrel some nuts. Mooney picks up some nuts for the squirrel and got this one. This one's going to grow into the trees. Where'd it go? Yeah, this one's. It's going to grow into a tree and make some more nuts for the squirrels up in here. Got another one here somewhere that's sprouting. Yes, but when you're little 3-year-old babies, that some sorority debs, with the blessing of their government, throws a condom down on a children's playground, so disguised as a balloon, so a little kid will come along and pick it up and have a little public drink out of it, while everybody else knows about it, but they're privateers, you see. They wants to drink blood and eat the brains of ritually killed vaginas in private. They don't want to eat them publicly, because that's how they get all their riches and their wealth. While they murder these guys and tell some lies on a piece of paper. And they've got to have paper to tell lies on and wipe their asses, and yeah, that's how they get everything. And they say, they call us nothing with lies on a piece of paper. They say we're nothing. So, Mooney should be able to totally walk into a fucking bank and rob it. Any bank we want to walk into, we just fucking rob it. They can't stop us, because how is it possible for nothing to rob a bank? We can't. There's another. Here's another instance of where nothing bites your American fucking abusive rape culture in the ass. Here's another instance. Do you want to know what it is, kids? Yeah, it's Pearl Harbor. Yeah, these planes that they called nothing. These zero planes. They call them zeros. They fly over and they drop nothing out of their nothing into an Arizona something. Yeah, they drop nothing out of their nothing into this something that they call Arizona, and this nothing penetrates down through the deck of the ship and into the magazine and makes it go boom. So how is it possible that nothing could make something go boom? It's the same with these firearms that they take away from us, you see, with lies on a piece of paper while they deny us due process in their civil courts. Yeah, it's exactly the same with that. See, if you take away our right to have a defense against brain-eating zombies and others who've been abusing us ever since we're 3 years old, then what happens is we're going to tell you what to do with those guns. So you need to pick up the nearest firearm. Yeah, because you want to protect brain eaters under your religious belief system banner. You need to pick up the nearest firearm and blow your fucking brains out with it. Pick up the nearest firearm. We don't care if it's yours or somebody else's. Pick up the nearest firearm and blow your brains out. Because Judge Cynthia Williams over in Sig Heilsboro 45133 tells us to eat Jesus and get an exorcism. And the only records that matter are the ones that they can control, redact, change to their Christian belief system benefit. So that's how to control everything with lies on paper. So maybe he's going to plant these trades for these little poor. Yeah, there's poor squirrels up in here. Their tails are like really skinny and thin, and they don't have any foods. They don't have any foods up in here. So while some vaginas that work at welfare agencies over in Crescent City want to discriminate against us and say, well, you missed your appointment, you got to reapply. And the problem with that is that Mooney's got this, we got this piece of plastic they sent us in the mail that's like some kind of health benefit card. And so we show that to them and we say, well, if we miss the appointment, how is it possible that we can have this card? Oh, that's nothing, they say. That's nothing. Just, here's a piece of paper. Now, apply for the food benefit again. Because they don't want us to have even to eat, even as they discriminate against us and won't allow us to have labor. Yeah, we're not allowed to have food either. So Benny doesn't know what to do. We're going to have to start playing these cards, you see. We're going to have to start playing this nothing card. We're going to have to play the nothing card and go to some banks and rob them. Because we tried to get a blowjob. Yeah, a job running cocaine and coke, and we can't even get one of those. Yes, we're the perfect candidate to run cocaine and heroin. Blowjob, you see. Because the pigs can't stop us. And do you know why the pigs can't stop us? Because, another one of their, a link in the chain of their so-called authority pig squad, refuses to do their duty on multiple occasions. The first incident is when we asked them for public records relating to the suspicious death of Tamika Stifler in Soylent Greenfield, 45123. And they refuse to give us those records and instead say, we're not going to protect you. Now that's a direct quote. And, when we get sexually assaulted by Craig Campbell in the same place, we go in there and we say, Craig Campbell does this to us. And they refuse to do their jobs, their duty. And they say, oh, he didn't do that. Yeah, so, and then once all these attackers see, the brain eaters and their cohorts see that the pigs aren't going to stop them. They're not going to do their jobs. They're not going to do anything to them about it. That's when they lay it on thick. They start to attack us even more. They attack us even more. With the blessing of this United States fucking donkey Congress that gives a ritual-killing brain eater some paper legs called legislations and sends them to stalk us from Florida to Ohio to accuse us of stalking, to take away our bear arms. Yeah, to take them away. So all you motherfuckers, bastards, we'll just call you bastards because that's what you are, because you grow out of this causality of a 3-year-old baby having a public drink while you all demand privacy. Yeah, well, you're all bastards. So, we have this influence, this quantum influence over what you do with these guns you say that we're not allowed to have. And so we say, well, Cynthia Williams has this meat market over there in Highland County, Cunty. Yeah, Highland Cunty. See, we call it Cunty because when they refuse to count us and do their jobs, we take the little typo blood out of there, and that leaves them with the cunty. That's all they got left is the cunty. They got a meat market over there, and they're obligated to feed that zombie because they like to refuse to do their job too and be impartial and take sides, in exchange for bribes from Mark Zuckerberg, the Mormons, and other belief systems. So now pick up the nearest firearm and blow your brains out. But in the meantime, the Truman Cup of Tea is going to plant some little seeds here so the squirrels can have some foods and so they can make some fruitcake for all the believers that hate them. They only tolerate them unless they get a free fruitcake once a year. Eat the baby.